Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, a monstrous puppet movie that will blow you away, a device that will help you with those couch gaming sessions, and picture books get personal, plus a sack of the week that you will not want to miss. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast where we go out and find projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am one half of the show, Ktdata, and joining me is a man. If you show up on his doorstep dressed up as a zombie, you get the fun size. But if you show up as dressed up as an awesome demon, you will get a full-size candy bar. The one
It's true.
Drew Tyler.
I love demons.
How you doing, man?
Doing well. Okay, I don't love demons. They scare me a lot. And zombies, I'm just like, it's been done. So yes, I'll give you a full-size candy bar right in the kisser. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. And the funny thing is, I actually wanted to mention, since it's Halloween week as we record right now. Utah's favorite Halloween candy, Nerds. And when I saw that, I'm like, that's all Drew.
Yep. I did that single-handedly. I'm pretty sure it was all me.
It's so pretty much, because we were talking about on Noms about it, and that popped up. I'm like, this is totally Drew. It's like 100% funded by Drew. All right. So if this is your first time watching the show, welcome to the show. Before we actually go into our projects tonight, we have some news, and our first one is kind of more of a recap. You know, Drew, normally I only get to see you like once every, well, I still only see you once every
two
moon. Well, in the flesh space.
In the flesh, it's like once or twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, on there. But, you know, you came down, we went to the Kickstarter Film Festival.
We had a mandate. We went to a movie together. We did not hold hands. There was no smooching, no hanky-panky, but we watched a movie together.
Oh, yeah. We watched, actually, that was two, technically, because, well, would you count the short as a...
Yeah, it was a movie. It was a movie.
So, like, if you guys didn't know, October 15th was the Kickstarter Film Festival. I hope you guys went to go see it. What did you think of What We Do in the Shadows? That was just...
That was such a great, fun movie. There was a lot of elements to it that just were laugh out loud entertainment when it comes to just what is it like for vampires to live in the here and now, and the way that they did it with this kind of comical, almost documentary style story, and then they tied things back together. So it was I don't know. There were so many parts of it I just enjoyed immensely. Like it was very well done. People that I thought weren't going to be like main characters or have anything that was kind of like, oh, this is a funny part, all of a sudden they came back as like core to the show, and that was kind of a fun way to watch. So I enjoyed the storytelling very much. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I loved it. Now I'm afraid of the beast. That's one of the greatest things. Or like even at the beginning when they're kind of just trying to figure out the chores and stuff, and it's like, you haven't done the dishes in 2 years. It's like, it looks like a pigsty. It's like, what does it matter if we want to bring guests over? We're gonna eat them anyways.
So perfect.
I actually love that. And like even the films that actually aired after you left, because they had 2 screenings on there. Yeah. So the first one they showed the Afronauts and What We Do in the Shadows, and then after that they did Submarine Sandwich and World of Tomorrow and T-Rex. World of Tomorrow is this. You should have stayed the extra 15 minutes. It was really interesting.
Was it
really well done? It was kind of. So what happens is in the future we just clone ourselves over and over and download our minds into them.
Oh.
And what happens is like the 3rd generation of this girl, her clone travels back in time to visit the little girl because. And she kind of just shows them the future and how we've just kind of become mindless drones and stuff. And it's really well done. Kind of really pretty. It's a interesting art style that they use too, and it's kind of a fun story on there. So I'm like, oh, that was a pretty good one. And the T-Rex one was another good one. Kind of doing a documentary on the first woman Olympian boxer, and that she's only like 17. There, so that was a really interesting movie. I didn't expect that because I don't like the extent of sports I do is
right
football and basketball, and I don't really watch anything else. So on there, so those were some great films. If you guys missed them, head on over to filmfest.kickstarter.com and check out some of the trailers they have on there and go watch the movies because all of these are I think you can get them digitally.
Yeah, in fact, I told somebody about What We Do in the Shadows, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw that." I didn't know where they watched it, but they watched it already somewhere and loved it. It was one of their favorites from Hulu or something. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so for our second piece of news, you remember Indiegogo Life, right? Where it was kind of Indiegogo's category of just doing personal crowdfundings, for medical expenses
Right.
or
Right.
community projects, things like that.
Hmm.
On there, they have fully spun it out into its own website, and they're calling it
Oh.
Generosity on there. And what a great name, generosity.com too. Perfect URL on there. It is essentially what Indiegogo Life was,
Huh.
except now it's its own website. It shows everything. It's kind of like this category, but it's spun out on there, and just like
Platform for human goodness.
yeah, and just like Indiegogo Life, they don't take any fees out of this. And their whole goal is to help you raise money quickly for some kind of personal cause or something. So you're not coming here to um, try and get a free ride for your product or something. But
Right.
like this one right here, they raised over $1 million for a scholarship fund, which is kind of really really cool.
Yeah, I love that, and that was kind of it's a. I've seen a lot of these lately, where again, especially through social media and Facebook, families have a chance to say, "Hey, we've been hit by this tragedy," or a child of ours or a friend of ours has this dream. Can you help make these things happen? And it's those GoFundmes and those pages that I'm quick to be like, yes, anything I could do. Thanks for contacting me. Thanks for letting me know this is going on. So this generosity is a fantastic idea. I love it.
Yeah, and I like it because let's just go to generosity.com. It's like they
So easy.
perfect branding. All right, so for our last piece of news, it's not really news; it's more of a game on there, and
I love
and
games.
and if so, Drew's probably wondering why doesn't he have a URL in the show notes? The reason is because I don't want to show
Yes.
you the answers to that.
Show notes, all it
to
says
all
is,
this.
"Can you spot the fake?" That's all
Yes.
the show notes. And so I looked at that and I was like, "Did we not finish writing in
On
show
there.
notes?"
So
Okay.
what Yahoo did is they posted 10 ridiculous Kickstarter ideas, and then you're gonna have to spot which ones they made up and which ones are actual Kickstarter ideas.
Oh,
All right. So
are you ready to play?
the first one is Thomas the Tank Engine RPG. Blockbuster RPG franchises like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series generate billions of dollars worldwide for game companies. So why not an RPG based on everyone's favorite anthropomorphic locomotion fantasy, Thomas the Tank Engine? From the Kickstarter page, you begin the story in a yet unspecified land, in a land where trains with faces roam. Is that a real one or is it fake?
I'm down. That's a fake for me. I'm claiming fake on that. You just can't be serious, especially when they compare it to Elder Scrolls. Wow, please tell me it's fake.
Right here. That
As
is
in, that's a
real.
fake page,
It
or that's
is
a real
real.
one? What? Wow.
So I don't think he raised that much money, but it was a real
It
one.
looks like zeros to me, but that was a real. Wow, somebody tried.
All right. So number 2, TARDIS in space. Doctor Who fans with surplus discretionary income poured more than $88,000 into this project, which pledged to launch a TARDIS phone booth into space. Backers were given the opportunity to upload up to 5 megabits of data into the satellite's hard drive. Sadly, the 2013 delivery date came and went, and after the project team discovered that it was actually really difficult to put things in orbit. True or false?
This one sounds so ridiculous that I'm gonna have to say it's true, because I think that I could see enough fans getting behind it simply for that geekdom. And it sounds about right that they would go, "Oh yeah, 88 grand, that's great," and then not be able to pull it off. So I'm gonna say true on this one.
Yep, this one is an actual one on here, so you can
Yes.
actually see a post on here. They tried
We're
to do it.
putting a TARDIS into. So they raised the money, and then they eventually did they just post and say we can't figure it out?
He looks like they're still not there. They're still working on it. They moved their website.
We used your 88,000 to buy
Yeah.
a new host
Right
for our
here.
website.
Unfortunately, there's nothing new to report regarding the launch date. Still in a holding pattern, waiting on an official confirmation from Interorbital Systems. Believe us, we're extremely frustrated as well. But as we've said many, many times, the launch itself is the one thing that is out of our control and the one thing it can be problematic. So
I would hope that this would have been done right from the front and at the beginning, in the FAQ and what could happen part of the site. They would have said there's a possibility that we might not be able to actually get this thing out there. I would hope that was like. But do you know how many backers?
let me open that up again.
Like, I'd be curious to see how many people came up with that money.
88,000. My guess. Oops, not NASA.
NASA paid for the whole thing.
Let's see. 3,000. Where'd it go? 231 backers.
Okay. So a decent amount to come up with some pretty good money to make it.
All right.
I'm surprised. I hope them the best. I wish the best.
So here's another one. The
Okay.
film hipster retro set. Music hipsters have their vinyl records and cabinet speakers, but what about the poor film snob who craves the analog authenticity of the 1970s? The film hipster retro set is aimed at the purist who rejects soulless high definition digital technology. Your $500 pledge gets you a vintage 13-inch Sears CRT television set, a 1979 Quasar VCR, and 3 Stanley Kubrick movies on VHS.
Please tell me that's fake because that's hilarious.
That one is a fake one on there.
Wow.
But
I'm pretty snobby, but I'm happy with my horrible fake HD.
the ironic thing is I actually have a 13-inch
Yeah.
CRT television in my room that I keep specifically for my Super Nintendo and stuff.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
All right, number 4, 3D iPhone screen filter. Using patent pending technology and precision engineered film, the makers of this revolutionary adhesive screen promise to turn your iPhone touchscreen into a 3D display and with no need for glasses. The 2012 campaign failed spectacularly and may have actually been a riff on a classic April Fool's Day hoax.
Oh, so it was a real campaign, but we're not sure if it was meant to be fake or not.
Yeah, it was a real campaign, and they raised. Look at this thing.
Oh,
Or no, this is not the right one. Where'd it go? There's one. Oh, they linked the wrong one.
It sounds like it was real.
Yeah, it was a real thing on there.
Were they just hoping to do like cross fields where like certain apps could like take part of like a passive? I don't even know.
I have no idea. Maybe they're trying to do it like the
3DS or something, 3DS, right?
Yeah, on there. Which I honestly, I always keep my 3D off on that thing.
Yeah,
I never have it on. All right, so number 6, the robotic. I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna mix some of these around. So, robotic earbud untangler, a great idea that at last was never to be. The robotic earbud untangler promised to pull apart the wires on your hopelessly knotted up earbuds using, as we quote, nodiological algorithms and a database of more than 1,500 primary knot configurations. The project actually raised more than twice its initial funding goal, but the real product was never forthcoming.
No, that's fake. Nobody can solve that problem. No robot algorithms knot tying. Nobody can solve that problem.
Yeah, just coil your cables properly, and you won't have that. You won't have that problem.
That's right. Was that a fake or a real?
Yeah, that one was a fake one.
Yes.
And then so the next one is Little Eats, the treat you both can eat. Another failed 2012 crowdfunding campaign. Little Eats was aimed at dog owners, where the treat was both edible by humans and canines on there. Might I add, I've eaten real dog treats before.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. Dogs
eat all kinds of stuff. I did not get sick off of it, but it wasn't delicious or anything.
My dog eats my food all the time. I'll have a ham sandwich, and I have to give her a piece of meat every time.
She's like, "You must pay tribute."
Yes. So I'm down with Little Eats for little treats. That's a real project. People need to feed their dogs.
Yeah, that one was a real one, and they only raised $200.
Oh,
on there out of the 5,000 they needed.
That's unfortunate.
On there. Okay, so our next one is the Cthulhu Personal Digital Assistant. Conceived by pulp horror writer H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu is an ancient cosmic entity whose voice instantly shreds the sanity of any mortal who dares to listen. As such, the target audience here would seem to be narrow, but the Cthulhu Personal Digital Assistant very nearly met its fundraising goal of $50,000 last year. The last update. Red Cthulhu will soon drown the world in an ecstasy of fire and blood. Expect deliveries in April. Thanks, everybody.
I want to say that it's real, but it's probably not. Because it'd be really fun.
It's a fake one.
See, that'd be really fun to have a personal assistant.
Just replace Siri with Cthulhu.
Yeah, Cthulhu, do something for me. Tell me a story. Read me a bedtime. Yeah, that's.
All right, and then so our next one is the Titan Boa, a 50-foot electromechanical serpent. One of Kickstarter's most notoriously successful campaigns, the Titan Boa seems like a sci-fi movie premise, but it's plenty real. In 2011, backers pledged more than $10,000 to fund the robot snake, which now weighs in at 1,750 pounds, with 34 articulated vertebrae stretching more than 50 feet. Is this real or is it fake? A giant mechanical snake.
Wow, this one's on the edge for me. I feel like there are people ridiculous enough that would go for this. I'm gonna go real.
Yep, this is
Titan
a
boat.
real thing.
It's real.
This is a real thing. All right, so our last two we got the world's largest jockstrap. Surely no one would seriously endeavor to stitch together the world's largest jockstrap.
Laptop.
Surely no one would have the audacity to ask others to fund such a project.
Right.
Surely said project would not be submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records. Surely it could not have possibly met its $850 fundraising goal. Surely not.
Surely not. I hope not. Let's please be fake.
It's a real thing right here.
What? This guy raised
11 backers too. Only 11 backers. So he got this
to make a giant jockstrap.
Yeah, and he like didn't post any updates or anything. This is all I got.
Oh wow! Now does that say artist? I can't. Is that?
Yeah. So artist
it was
Michael
like
Barrett.
an art install.
Yeah.
I love jocks as much as the next guy, but there's a limit to like the size of what's an even artistically appreciative jockstrap. Like I can go for a nice 3-foot jockstrap and be like, that's beautiful. But that thing was ginormous and it just lost all balance for me. You can't hold anything with that. You can't even jump around in that thing.
Maybe he can put the 50-foot Titan
boa. That's it. That one makes me laugh. That's hilarious.
All right, so our last one, a steam-powered prosthetic arm. As a subculture, the steampunk scene is notoriously creative. They make the best Halloween costumes, but when you're relying on coal-fired boilers and Victorian-era gaskets, it's probably ill-advised to get into the prosthetic limb business. Still, that didn't stop one entrepreneur from raising seed money for a steam-powered prosthetic arm. Is this real or is this fake?
From what I have learned of the steampunk world, I could see this being entirely real. Absolutely real.
All right, so they actually were real, and I'm trying to find an image of it.
Oh, it is real? Yeah.
And there's no image of it, which sucks.
But it was actually a steam-powered arm.
Yeah, so 19 backers pledged $540 to help bring this project to life.
Where do you keep the steam? Like, where do you keep, like, how do you got to boil water to get steam. So you got to have some sort of heating source built into your arm where you got like the elbow knob.
You know, you have one of those like giant espresso makers on your back.
That's what I was thinking.
Hold on, I gotta get the steam in so my arm can move.
That one's funny. That's really funny.
So you actually did pretty good. You only got like 2 of them wrong.
Not bad. I can spot the fake.
See, Drew can spot the fakes.
Now,
all right.
Most of those would be a sack of the week for me. I'm just saying.
Oh, you really wouldn't want to play the Thomas the Tank Engine RPG?
No.
Drew, let's go raiding on Thomas RPG, man.
Let's go raid. I don't even know who the bad guys are in Thomas.
I don't think there are any bad guys.
Get on the track. We're gonna go make some havoc.
It's like I'm playing Toby tonight. Let's go.
Oh wow. Wow.
No, I thought that was kind of fun, a little change up. All right, so now on to projects that, as far as I know, are real or, they're
at this
collecting
point.
money at this point. So, Drew, I know you don't. You kind of like the demons and stuff. How do you feel about puppets?
See, puppets. Like in the horror movies, puppets freak me out. Like because they're personified and they can creep me out in the horror movies. But I personally love to play with puppets.
All right, so our first project of the night is called Frank and Zed, and this is a monster movie that is done entirely with puppets.
Yeah.
On there. So the story kind of goes that Frank and Zed, they've been buddies for a long time. What Frank does is he gathers brains for Zed because Zed needs brains to eat.
Zed.
And then Frank, he needs power. He needs to get charged every day. So what Zed does every night is hook him up to some leads, like car jumper batteries, and then the lightning charges them up. So, they've been good buddies for a while. And then some stupid villager wanders into their territory. On there, and of course, Zed's like, look, it's or Frank's like, this is all you can eat for Zed right here. Well, apparently villagers, they don't like that, and they're coming for some retribution on there. And they come and store in the castle, and the story's kind of about what happens during that process and, along to go with it. I was a little skeptical when I first clicked on this, but when I was watching the trailer, he puts the trailer in there. I just couldn't look away, and I was laughing horrendously. There's like crazy puppet gore and everything, and you can see in these pictures like these look lit well, shot well. The sets were put together really well, right? You can see kind of the art and everything right there. He has a full team actually working to animate each of these puppets while they're shooting, and they're
This
shooting
is
on proper cameras and everything. It's a
yeah, yeah.
proper production. So get this. So far, they've been working on this for 2 years in pre-production, getting all the sets and stuff. Everything they've done so far has been in a converted garage, a tiny little garage out there.
Impressive.
So this is where they've kind of hit a wall in their production, because you look at this. Just to get this moving, there's like two guys running the right and left hand, one guy running fingers, one guy's running the head, and then you got your camera guys all running at the
Wow.
same time, and eyes on there. So they're to the point where they cannot fit any more people in to run these puppets while they're filming and stuff. So they actually need funding to get a bigger production area and actually make the next step of it. They've actually done most of the post production, or not the pre production on there, and they've done 15% of the principal filming on there. So I mean,
Which is a tiny 15% is a tiny amount, but I think it's probably a good amount to say, especially trailer wise, here's what we can do, here's what we're capable of, back us.
yeah,
And so I
and
think they've done that right.
that 15%, they literally milked every single scene that they could do in that small space. So to do the rest, they need more room. They need a little bit more money. Also, they're doing all if they can. They're doing as many practical effects as they can do. So people are probably like, "What in the world are practical effects?" You know how everybody says, "Oh, it's all done on computers now and
Right.
stuff." And
CG.
yeah, these guys are actually going out and like filming, lighting up like this guy right here. They have a flamethrower on the puppet and he's just like shooting fire out of it. Other than
Nice.
so
Nice.
it's they're actually doing as many of these effects real as possible and not computer generated on there. So I mean, I love this. I just looked at it and I'm like, wow, the production quality is at the level where it should be on the. I love the story, and what they had
Oh, the
so
story.
far is great. I want to see this. I want to see this come to life.
Yeah,
Right?
I do too. I mean, just looking through this and seeing the rewards that they've got um these are some really well done puppets. This I'm satisfied. Like I feel like if a team was going to be able to pull this off, and again, like you said, great story. If we want to
Yeah,
see this
and it's all
happen,
been volunteer too. Like he's
that's
not paying anybody to do this.
so. Do they explain where their $15,000 goal is? Like, what it's just to buy a bigger
I
set, a
think they're
bigger building?
to get a bigger set and to fund the rest of the filming on there. Let's see, where is it? Um, on there. So, and he's actually gotten some pretty well done things. Um, so they said they've filmed over 30% of the film already. They've got everything storyboard. They know how many shots are taken. 450 shots
Nice,
on
nice.
there. So we're sketching out locations and developing mechanisms for all the new characters. And they've developed different slimes and stuff. And yeah, so they're not just using it just for the space, but it's for more of this extra stuff that they kind of need to put together. I mean, you've seen like they've put together, different animatronics just to move the puppets and everything together on there. So they're trying to get the rest of this to get the rest of that on there. I mean, they've done
It's
epic
great.
battles, and so this right here, this animated GIF that the audio video viewers are not seeing at all. These are what they've shot so far for the movie, and they're scenes from the movie itself. And they
Excellent.
look really great.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they really do. And this is fun because I've done a lot of stop motion and played with that, but this is the puppet is kind of a fun way to get everything to move at the same time with having volunteers moving all the parts and pieces. I am excited about this one. It's definite
This
back for me.
Yeah, this one's definitely back. They're only asking for $15,000, and they're
That's
about almost $7,000 in, so they're a little under halfway right now on there with 23 days to go. I'm all in on this because
they're doing it
normally,
right.
yeah, normally you see something like this and you can tell they've kind of cut corners and stuff. I don't think these guys are cutting corners. It is a labor of love for them. They really just want to put this together, and I've been impressed what they've done in just a tiny garage.
Right, I'm impressed as well. Like it's great. It's great construction, great artwork. Like I would trust them with a full movie. I will give them my money.
Yeah. So take that for what you will with two people who actually
We play movies.
we know production on there. All
Yeah,
right. So speaking of playing with things, Drew, you like playing video games
I do love
on
to
there.
play video
So
games all day, every day.
maybe this next thing is something that will help you.
This is an idea for those of you that want to play more video games in your life and be comfortable doing so. This project for our number 2 project is called Sofa Deck. It's a keyboard mouse lap desk solution for PC gamers. And I think honestly, I think you could probably make it happen for almost any console of sorts. But it's for heavy gamers. Here's a lap desk that sits broad and wide and lets you either stay on the sofa or on the couch, or sit back farther from one of those larger screen TVs. That's something I always love, is having a big TV in my house. And the days came not too long ago when all of a sudden you could connect your computer to an HDMI port or something, and I even my Mac, I can mirror my Mac to the screen on the wall across the room and have like 50 inches to edit with. Right, that's exciting to me. For gamers, it's like, okay, I want to play big experience. What this sofa deck does is they built this ginormous, and I have to put my hands here to see it, but really it's a big long deck that sits your keyboard, has room for your mouse and anything else that you want to put on there. It's very broad on purpose so that you can fit like a full-size gaming keyboard, like with the number pads and all the extra buttons. And on top of that,
Yeah, something like that. What I'm using right now, which is getting stuck with cables.
your standing desk area.
Something like this.
What I love, let me see. Yeah, right. See, that's a giant one.
And it's
you can
heavy
have
too because it's mechanical.
so, and that's what I guess I love about the sofa deck, is that they have thought of all these things, and so you can have this really cool, broad, long like desk that moves with you. It's designed so that there is a center bar that will ride right between your legs. So you have kind of a, I don't know, like a crotch, like
support,
saddle,
yeah.
a support, right? So you can actually sit on the leg part of it, or the base of it can go under your thighs, while the rest of it sits right across the top. So it's right where your hands would be anyway, like this. Oh wait, camera. Man, I don't have a cameraman. But it's so perfect to have it sit right where you go. You can sit on the couch. You can do that. They made the base retractable, like removable, so that if you don't want to like slide your legs in and sit on it and pinch it, you can take the base off and still like tuck yourself in your covers on your bed and still sit this thing right between your legs and have the full spread of keyboards and mouse so that you can play your games or do your editing or whatever it is that you do on your bed. So the sofa deck, my friends, I think it's a pretty rad product. Here's a part that I love. It has like, it's not just like, oh, there's a big piece of plastic that we can put our stuff on. No, it's got built-in internal and external like USB hubs, so you can have everything that you need to plug right into the deck. You can plug several USBs in, and then they have these things called gadget slots, so you can have like a phone. One of them is just a phone holder that sits off to one side, so your phone can sit there right by you, or a tablet. And they have all these different things that they're coming up with. But for me, I thought this was a unique kind of way to solve a problem of, being able to mouse while sitting on the sofa, and being able to, whether that's PC gaming or whatever else you're doing on the sofa comfortable. This does it for you. So it's kind of like those laptop desks, but this one's large and wide on purpose, so it'll fit a full keyboard and mouse setup. What do you think of this? I love this.
I like it. I mean, what happens to me, and I think it works even for a laptop, because especially now with laptops, everything has an aluminum body and everything doesn't have a fan on it.
Right.
Have you ever had that moment where you're actually just sitting there and then all of a sudden your lap is just burning?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I like that for that situation, and I also love the large surface spaces. A lot of the other ones I've seen, will only take the 10 keyless keyboards, and you really don't have room for your mouse. And
Right.
if you're playing like StarCraft and stuff, you'll be using a lot of mouse movements.
You need it.
The docks and everything on there, so that's not cluttering up your workspace either. And I think it's a great idea, and I love the support too. So it's not directly sitting on top of your thighs.
Right, exactly, and that's what most of them do. Is like, oh, just rest on your lap with a little beanbag. No, this is like a full on like, set it down on the couch and slide your legs on it, so you're holding it steady, which is nice, and that balances it out. It's kind of like 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 lock it in.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a total back to me. The tiers are right. The rewards are right. I think they just barely launched, and so they got a $53,000 goal with yet zero backers. But I hope to see this one go the right way. It's out of the UK, so they're looking for 35 of their pounds or whatever they buy things with over there. I love it.
On there. So yeah, that this one's a track for me just because I don't game a lot on my couch. But thinking about it now, with the Steam boxes coming out and the Steam Link devices that you can just have your desktops in another room and still play it on your TV and things like that, this actually is going to become more useful. And I love USB ports because I'm always trying to charge something or trying to have something connected on there. So that is very helpful to me
Nice.
on that. All right. So our final project of the night. So I know you have kids, Drew.
I have kids.
You have kids. So how often do you kind of like read stories with them, and like do they like keeping their books, or do they
Uh,
just like just let's just throw
No,
them
I
out?
have man. They keep their books. We read books every day, and it's often the same one every night. It's like I want to read that again. I was like, yeah, but I memorized it already. We don't have to do it again. No, that's the one I want. So
All
yes,
right.
we read a lot.
So your kids might actually like this. How about a picture book that's kind of Where Waldo style that has a picture of them in the book?
Find yourself.
Yes. On there.
Oh,
So our last project is the Hey Wow, and it is a personalized picture book for kids on there. So what you do is it's kind of Where's Waldo, except the story is called In the City. Yes, In the City, and it's customized by your name. So this one says Where's Juno, but it could be Where's Bean in the city.
hmm.
And what you do is they put your kid's picture into some of these shots, and then they have to find them. And there's 12 different pages, full 2 pages on there, and you have to find the kid kind of in there, and they'll have their head
Like
stamped
like
on.
whatever
Yes,
image they're
yeah.
like cut into
You
these
you
little
you, s-
scenes.
you send them an image, and then they'll actually print the book in there. So it's not like taping or anything. It is
Right,
fully
right.
printed on page. And I love this idea so much because I used to love Where's Waldo, but I'm like, this is even cooler if they have them.
So my guess is that they have because I'm thinking,
Oh,
okay,
they're doing
how
this
do
by
you scale this?
hand. That's what's crazy. They're
Well,
actually putting the so this is so there's a question they put a part in their book in their project that says why the book costs £20. From sketch concept to final printed book takes a huge amount of perfecting, polishing, printing, and a wee bit of magic, especially as we have to carefully place your child's face and name into every scene. It's time consuming but fun process, but that's what makes this book different to any other. So I think they're by hand, like cutting
like
out your picture.
manually
Yeah,
putting them in. Well, digitally and then printing a digital like
yeah,
photoshopping them in each one.
I think so. Or they have some kind of semi streamlined system, but it's still, they're still
That
working on it.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering because I was thinking, okay, here's brilliance, right? I do this whole scene, and because there's 40 kids in the scene, I basically just have to have 40 people buy the book, and I take each one, their
Yeah,
kid ends up in some place, and then I print the exact same book 40 times, and your kid may show up writing the slide, and your kid's going to show up in line for the slide, or so. But I don't know now. I wonder if they just have stock photoed some of these images, and yeah, individually they're like, okay, replace that kid.
it's because each of these books have to have the kid's name on the cover too,
That's true.
and like everything has their name in there.
That's true. Do you send them these little photos? Like, okay,
Yes,
send
you
us one
you.
of them
So what
sitting.
you do is you send them a picture on there, and then they'll put them into the scenes of the book.
Like one picture, or do you have to like put them in
I
poses and
think
be like,
it's one picture on there. I don't think they say how many pictures.
give us the one where you're sitting, give us one where you're drinking tea, give us one where you're riding a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it might just be one, and they sneak in everywhere on there. I know they say it's for children's 3 to 6. Part of me is like, I wonder if I can do this, and send my picture in.
Yes, yes, you could. Okay, I really love it. I love the uniqueness of this. That's fantastic.
Like this would be one book your kid would never want to throw away. Because I know I didn't do it that often because I just got books from the library. But some kids are just like, I'm done. Let's just throw that book out. This one they would want to keep because they're in it.
Right, right. And if this one won't disappear, I wonder if they would do one where I could put like all three kids in the book, and then you just as they grow up, you pass it down and be like, okay, find your sisters. Great. Oh, I love it. I love this one. That's a back.
I mean, I love it, and they even have like full size prints on there. I'm convinced. I'm like, if you had a tier just to get me photoshopped into one of these,
Into one of those giant frames on the
Yeah,
wall, that would be
I
really
just,
funny.
and then hang it on my wall and just be like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
check out the third car from the right. That's me.
Yeah,
That's
on that. So I mean, I love this idea. And I think it's gonna be like the first of many because this one's in the city. There's so many different possibilities that they could go on to making, and I love it. And it's actually another UK project.
love it.
Enough. So we're giving love to the UK today. All right. So for our last project of the night, it is the sack of the week.
I'm excited to see this. So, I don't know what this one is. This week.
I had a really hard time picking which one of these to do, but I decided to go with this one because this is kind of self-explanatory. It is the $1 Thrust-A-Gram by Pelvic Thrusters Inc.
Oh.
So what these guys will do for $1 will do a pelvic thrust and film it and, say happy birthday or congratulations.
Are you serious? That is what they will do?
Yes. And they actually say, yes, it's what we do professionally, pelvic thrusting. We are the particularly perfect professional private pelvic thrusting personal trainers, the PPPPPTPT.
We've been training for 2 years for thrustograms.
On there. So for $1, they will do a pelvic thrust, put a video on YouTube for you, and email it to you.
So say, do you have any samples? I've got to see what kind of style they're thrusting. If they're thrusting up.
This is what's great about this is they have different they've classified different kinds of thrusts on there. So you can choose your thrust right here, and I'll show this on screen. So for $1, you can choose your thrust on there, and they have a multiple of these because this goes for a while. Splash of milk, double espresso, Twin Peaks.
Oh my.
Twin soldiers.
Oh, dear me.
Rice-A-Roni, double dookie dip. Like, this goes on for like a whole minute.
Do you have a favorite?
I didn't watch the whole thing.
To me, this like every one of these thrusts looks like I put a potato in my pants thrust. This is blowing me away.
Yeah. They have like the drawstring and they only want $50 at least.
They're looking for 50 people to thrust for, but the Twin Soldiers is probably my.
Well, I didn't show all of them on there. There's like the Beans and Franks, the Optimus Prime, the Baked Beans,
the elevator. What is the elevator?
The Sloppy Joes. I don't know.
You know what? I'm not even sacking this one. I am revoking my sack, and I am throwing $1 down for a thrust. I will be their first backer because I'm sending you a Rice-A-Roni or an elevator. I'm not sure which, but I'm
or the maxi pad, the short and simple, the corn on the cob, the inverted can opener,
baked beans,
the Miss Peggy, the Miss Piggy.
Oh, you guys, I cannot believe that this has no backers. I'm blown away.
I think they launched today, so that might be
okay. Well, I'm hoping that this goes someplace. The Jello shot, the flapjack, like they have come up with some of the most entertaining.
Lego my Eggo.
The maxi pack.
Egg salad.
So here's my thought. I would buy one of these, and so they'd send me this perfect like. I would imagine that it'd be up on the YouTubes forever as my personal like happy birthday, and then for everybody's birthday. Like,
the exact same thing.
I just link him. I just be like, happy birthday, buddy. This thrust for you. And I would send them a nice little like disco thrust or something. Wow. Yeah, these guys are professionals. If you watch the sheer number of thrusts they've come up with, means they've been doing this for 2 years. Like
2 years of training to get it right.
Yeah, it's a given.
Oh, they have costumes too. Cowboys, surfers, baby, disco, athlete, ninja.
Does my dollar thrust give me a costume, or do I have to go higher for for a costume thrust?
I don't know. I think they may. I don't know.
For a 5-word thrustogram.
You could pay $20 for a song with a for a song on there with little different things. But the one thing I'd have to say though is I don't think they understand how licensing rights work.
You can't use Brass Monkey
because using Brass Monkey and only raising $50. Not the same thing. You can buy a song for $1. You can't use it in a video that you've made money off.
Monetize, right? They plan on delivering it in a video format via email, which it could happen.
On there, but
You know what? You and
but
I both need to get a song.
if they put it on YouTube though, it's gonna get content ID flagged, and then you're gonna have a video with no audio.
Yeah, they'll have to put it somewhere else or Dropbox it to me. But I will share it around. I would keep that in my Dropbox just so I could link it out if I had a $20 song of thrust. Wow, any song of your choice, just a music video.
Why don't you like just throw down $2,000? You can become PT certified, and then you enrolled in their online school of PPPPPPTP.
For 10 grand, there's a retreat, training, and a certification weekend, and that sounds like way more worth the money. I will fly out there and PPPPPTPT until my PPP falls off. That is amazing. You guys. Please, my friends, if every one of us trying to just get
everybody bags at thirst again.
Here's the thing: these guys. Oh, I mean, this is trolling, right? This is kind of funny.
This is definitely a troll project.
But if we can get it to kick over that $50 goal, they've got a thrust, and I'm sure they would love to do this
just to thrust
professionally. They will change their tune pretty quick, and they'll be like, "Hey, this isn't fun anymore, guys. This is business." And then they'll hire a CFO.
I hope they get better video quality though. It's because like if you look at their Kickstarter video, it's not lit that well, you know. If I'm getting a thrustogram, I want a level of professionalism.
Yes, I want $1,000 lights.
I want at least 3-point lighting.
Yes,
and at least not using the smartphone to film it, because I definitely can tell this is filmed on a smartphone.
Yes, and if you were going to do something like the egg salad, it's got to be a better background than your kitchen. This is brilliant.
Are you saying we should start a competing service?
Oh. An Asian and a white dorky guy. Twerkagram. This is not a bad idea, friends. I think you and I together, our friends, let's go places.
Let's do twerkagram. Yeah.
We may need to look at some other options. I'm not so good.
Maybe we'll put that as a Patreon reward.
There you go. Yes.
On there. All right, guys.
Way to go out. Holy cow.
That was the last project of the night.
Hold on, for you video folks, I think I might send you off with a nice little. This is one that I just made up, and I'm gonna call this the Nerds. This is the Nerds thrustogram for all of my friends out there.
That was amazing. That was. So if you guys have any ideas, or if you just want to encourage us to start a twerkagram service, send us an email at kickcast@ktdata.net, or leave it on our Facebook page, or tweet at Night20 for Drew.
I will send you a private Nerdgram if you tweet me.
On there. At KTData for myself. I'll have to brainstorm a good style now, because I don't know if I can beat the nerd. You know,
it's solid.
It's solid on there, or at KickCast for the show. Of course, we love it when you guys watch live.kickcast.net. Our next live show is going to be November 3rd, 2015. Wow, the holidays are just right around the corner.
I've been singing Jingle Bells all day. I'm okay with this. I'm ready.
On there. And if you want to go back the thrustogram, and remember, we only need 49 more of you guys.
That's right.
Just head on over to kickcast.net and look in the show notes, and you'll find links to all the projects we've talked about on there. Drew, you got anything else to plug before we go?
I just got to decide what double thrust. I'm going with the double thrust, by the way. I just got to decide which, what I want. But no, plug-wise... I'm still kicking it over at littlebigcast.com, doing a show every week about gaming and fun. This last week, the whole team from LBK raided together one of the early raids, and that was just kind of fun to see Rachel and Robin get in there and blow things up.
I heard Rachel rage quit.
She did, and then she came back. Because it was the jumping puzzle, and she didn't even have double jump through half the raid. So it was like a really wild time. But really, that's what I do with my free time. I don't even work or do my real job anymore. I just play video games, prep for shows and podcasts.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. All right, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Night-night.